Hey YouTube, in our last video where we used our script to look through all the different replays and find interesting games, you guys said you wanted to see some of the top pros playing in something other than the Octane and the Fennec. And I have found just a couple of those games. This is going to be Zen here first, playing on the Dominus. We have Zen on the Dominus, and then we have a game of Nupo on the Dominus to see just how these guys might look using what is once considered a much more competitively viable car. It's not completely out of the meta now, but Fennec did some serious damage as he's going to be able to get his first goal here in this flatter hitbox. I would say the Fennec did some serious damage to the competitive use of the Dominus because it gave people the ability to switch to another car that they felt looked cool and played differently, but similar enough to Octane. Before the Fennec was around, I felt like people dabbled a little bit more in Dominus as, I think, the coolest looking second car, but the problem with that one is you did heavily change how you played. I mean, a whole different hitbox, turn radius, everything. It was maybe a bit too much, and the Fennec and Octane actually have given, the perfect fake change for everybody who wants to pretend like they switched their car when really they're still playing the same one. But we were still able to find this replay from Zen, which actually happened in June of last year, in preparation before a major, I believe, because a replay that he played right before this one was with Banana Head on his servers, and I'm not thinking that Banana Head is queuing on EU servers or the same server as Zen very often, but he did on this day. Now, so far, Zen and the Dominus has not seemed to lack any mechs, but we haven't seen him go for anything too crazy. He's actually going to go for a pinch that might just be a little bit easier in that flat hitbox, as it will now launch the length of the field. I really want to see Zen get into a nice air dribble. What can he do? He's going to go for resets like he used to. He did take that one pretty tame here in the Dominus, as he now picks up a demo. Smokes not going to be able to stop him. Sidewall redirect attempt to Astral upfield. Oh my goodness, getting absolutely crazy. Are they partied up? I'm going to do a quick check here during a boring moment to see if they are going for these passing plays together, or yes, they are. Okay, they are teamed up. That makes a lot of sense. They seem to be freestyling in a 1-1 game, so a lot of confidence from them that they will eventually get this win. As Zen now backing off, doesn't seem to be worried. He sees, or maybe he doesn't see, but we see that Ipa's low on boost. He probably just feels it because he's a top level pro, knowing that that shot is never going to be too tough coming from an empty boost tank car. As he now tries to chase this one down, leaving it off for Astral. Will fully reset here to the back corner. Ipa putting this one out midfield. Will Zen play it off the side wall? First touch is nice, gets his resets, but ends up actually getting a better pass almost because Smokes extended it. I think without Smokes' touch, might not even been as good. Nice wave dash recovery off of the bump to make sure he gets back and stops his counterattack. Psycho attempt away. Astral was up as well. This is clearly a replay where these guys were messing around and trying to go for clips. And it's not like these guys on the other side of the field are, easy contenders. Smokes is no joke. And so is Ipa, as Zen quick to the ball. Cannot get that first touch exactly how he wanted to, but look at the read from him. Ends up playing it perfectly off of a pinch with the opponents. So certainly still has the angles in the Dominus as he's going to cheat up here, get a demo. And now we see a moment for him to go crazy. He's going to try and go for the musty. I mean, maybe he knows the Dominus hits those a little bit harder when you hit him correctly, but it's looking like Zen maybe doesn't have the sweet spot in this car. He's a little bit foreign to. Zen gonna lob one up over to Astral, who puts it to the ceiling. Oh my goodness! I can't believe we were able to find a freestyle replay. We should have known this. When players are freestyling, they're usually doing it with some of the flatter cars. I know Breakout seems to be pretty popular. Dominus is one that's pretty popular. So maybe a very intentional switch from Zen for this game in order to try and go crazy and pop off. And he's got himself a 4-1 lead. That was actually one of the only boring goals these two guys have hit, with a minute 2 left to go. As Astral gonna die, and Zen, I'm actually surprised didn't pre-jump this. Seemed clear that Smoke's gonna be taking it to the air, and considering how we've seen them play so far, Zen is gonna be reactive as he's able to shadow and make the save. Boost will respawn, and he is going for an interesting double out of the corner. I thought maybe he was going to go for another sidewall based on how they've been setting these up. He wants another full field redirect. These guys are just going crazy. 31 seconds left to go. Have to imagine Zen going to go for a nice double. Does get stopped. As he tries to swing through, chase down Smokes. Astral to the back wall. Zen actually was going to get a pretty nice wave dash catch. He gets bumped up, but he actually still uses his dash to get to the ball quickly and beat Smokes to it. This is not a possible angle, so he leaves the ball away. But a little freestyling from Zen. We might have to actually throw in another Zen and Dominus game here if we can find another good one. But we're going to go to Nupo. Maybe we'll be back to Zen at the end of this video. All right, I won't lie. We had to go farther back in time in order to find Nupo's Dominus game. This is his most recent Dominus game on ball chasing, to be fair. But it is quite a bit ago. You could tell because we're in this Starbase arc, you know, night or whatever it's called, which hasn't been in the rotation in what feels like forever. But we'll see. You know, Nupo's been mechy for a long time. People were excited for him to get into RLCS. He's playing alongside Ahmad and CRR Hyder. It's definitely a high-level lobby, but it is a, you know, a year and a half, 2-year-old lobby. I guess 2022 might even be considered 3 years old. Oh my goodness. But we'll see how Nupo plays in it and if he looks any different here in the Dominus. Nupo not able to get that read off the side wall. Ahmad actually got a demo out away from the play, which left Hyder completely helpless. Now Nupo getting mechy in the Dominus is exactly what we wanted to see, but seems like the reset shot's lacking. That maybe would hit harder with a different hitbox. As Nupo going to be forced to back off. But I tell you what, he seems to be completely comfortable in his first touches here, even hitting a nice zap dash as he lands, which I always figured would be easier on these longer hitboxes, but the man who coined it himself actually thinks it's easier on the Octane than his Sentio, which is the plankiest plank hitbox you can get. Hyder, ooh, he's going to take a straight dribble to the net, and it's going to end up working out as Nupo now down 1-0. CRR interesting kickoff. Nupo didn't want to challenge here. Ends up backing off. He actually did a weird ball camp toggle there while midair. Ahmad trying to lay it off for Nupo, but these guys are doing a good job of being pests, constantly staying on the ball, not allowing a clean setup. You can tell Nupo really wants it too. And now maybe he'll get it over here on the other side of the field. Out of the left corner. Oh, okay. Maybe his mechs aren't quite the same in the Dominus after all. It seems like that's not something we're used to seeing from Nupo. I know that this is a little bit of an older replay, but even back then, I'm sure he's not hitting that if he's on his Octane hitbox. As he taps this one over to Ahmad. Nice 50. This seems very shootable. Be a good read. He's just going to drop it down. And it's 1-1 halfway through this game. Nupo using the little bit of boost he had. Wow, I feel like he got away with one. I don't know why CRR didn't just shoot that. It felt like it was very shootable, but they are going to get scored on now. Down 1-2. And this Nupo going to have Ahmad head to the kickoff. Again, electing to shadow. Did not want to cheat up there. In and out of the net with the Dominus. Perfectly able to intercept. As there's going to be no boost to respawn. Credit to Ahmad. Nice defense. CRR sealing doubles missed, but Nupo didn't have that read, and actually is going to bounce away. Fortunately for them. Can Ahmad find Nupo upfield in the Dominus? The shot is soft. A minute 46 left to go. Nupo waiting outside the corner, a little 50. Can he throw it forward? Nupo not able to get anything off that reset. Minute 17 left to go. As this net is looking wide open, but oh my goodness, Hyder again with a miss off the back wall when it seemed like he could have put it on target. Nupo double denied. CRR not going to allow it, so a minute left to go. Ahmad and Nupo playing from behind as CRR lobs this forward. Again, his double nowhere near the nets. Ahmad getting a little bit of a Goomba stomp there on Hyder in the process of setting up that ball, but they're both going to be forced back. Oh my goodness, they almost combined for an own goal. Nupo electing to not pick up that 100, felt like he didn't need it and would rather stay alive on what could have been a potential demo. Now chasing this one down, pass to himself, over to Ahmad, who is actually going to be able to get it clean. CRR tried to pinch it away, but now it's on Ahmad's control. Oh my goodness, Ahmad. An absolutely ridiculous double from him, but he is in an octane, so he's in a nice standard hitbox. Oh no. Kickoff straight into the net. I don't know what is going on with these replays, but those goal explosions are going sideways when they normally are supposed to go straight out. But either way, 10 seconds left to go. Nupo and Ahmad are down. Nupo trying to flick this up to get a little bit of heights. Pinch to the side wall. 0 seconds. Can the Nupo Dominus clutch it up? He actually did fall to the ground to keep it up, but I don't think that was the kind of shot he wanted. Hyder going to launch it away. Nupo backflips. CRR can't get it to hit ground. This is an insane 0-second play. Nupo just booming it away where he sees Ahmad on the other side of the field. Sidewall double. Nupo putting it to the backboard. Ahmad. Oh my goodness. They tie it up in 0 seconds. A ridiculous play from these guys. It felt like 30 seconds of time where they were able to keep the ball up. And somehow this is headed into overtime with Nupo and the Dominus. This is some old school Rocket League happening here in a couple different ways. Playing in a car that isn't the standard car, but also it is just a few years old. As Hyder... CRR going to get dunked. Nupo picks up the midfield 100. Seemed like he was expecting Ahmad to take a challenge, but Ahmad does not. Now Nupo side flipping it out to him. He's just going to shoot from long distance. Hyder gets it clear. Does Nupo hit this double? He's not going to be allowed to. So anytime we've really tried to see something mechy or a nice read from Nupo, the defense has been there. That 50 almost on target. But Nupo will clean it up. And he's waiting out at the midfield if Ahmad wants to pass it to him. Ahmad, nice mix-up of his speed there to make sure he got a beat on the first defender, but the second will clean it up. And Nupo, nice defensive read to reverse back up there. He has a chance to get a nice angle. He does look to doink it on target. CRR stops the first. Oh my goodness, another ridiculous shot from Ahmad. This one is denied though, as we approach a minute 30 now in overtime. Nupo steals this one away. Nupo staying aggressive here. Maybe not to the level that we're used to from his current 2025 gameplay, but maybe we're seeing the beginnings of it. Huge flick. That is definitely exclusive to the Dominus as Ahmad tries to beat CRR to the ball and isn't quite able to. Is this the final double to score? He does. He sneaks it in. Nupo gets the win and he's out of there quickly on this old, I can't even remember what it's called. What is this arena called? I thought I said it earlier. Starbase. Yeah, Starbase Arc, but dark.